I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy. Keel, turn down the light a little bit, please. Is this blooper reel?
This is like the kind of
This
Okay.
is
Turn down. Okay.
no, the camera's
Right
not
here,
on
right
at
here, right
all.
here. Not too much. Never mind.
It's not
Because
on at all. It's not.
is that better? Is that better, or am I too dark now? Just turn it up a tiny bit, just a tiny smidgen, because I kind of like that. It's less crazy.
All
Good.
right, let's do this.
Tracy, do I look too dark or do I look okay?
You look beautiful.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, is my lighting too dark?
I can't tell. You're very little on my screen here.
Do you read any of the emails I send you with the lighting videos?
No.
Tracy,
Yeah.
you know what? You're only hurting yourself. 'Cause that last one I sent you was this cool thing you can order on Amazon, and it's like 30-something
Yes,
bucks.
I saw that. Okay. Should we count down the end of Droughtlander?
Are we on? I'm just checking to make sure I don't have too much David.
You gotta lift up the girls.
Nobody needs to see that.
Okay, count it down. The end of Droughtlander. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Tracey.
I'm Carol.
And after a long time of waiting, we are my
Dunbonnet.
Outlander Purgatory. Woohoo! You guys, Droughtlander is done. Stick a fork in it. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Carol, what are you drinking this fine evening?
Oh, Santa Margarita, as usual. Gets the job done.
It gets the job done for, like, a lot more than Kavik gets the job done.
I know, but I found this on sale.
You're like, every day needs to be a special day. Santa Margarita, it's not just for special days anymore.
True, but you know why I switched back? Not switched back. I always had Santa Margarita, like, you know, when I was out or whatever. But I just can't, more than I can't afford the wine, I can't afford the headache. So I finally just said, you know what, Santa Margarita, it's awesome, and I don't get the headache.
There you go.
Unless
a Chardonnay called Cloud Break, which I just like, and I find it at, I don't know, Total Wine, and it's cheap. And it's good. It's a nice oaky Chardonnay, as I want to like. So, Schlanzerva to the end of Droughtlander.
You have the way better glass. All my glasses are like packed away. I believe I'm drinking out of a red wine glass, but whatever.
Oh, who cares? This is like a cheap glass from Costco. Do you guys all buy the, like, you know, the 12 packs from Costco that are like $20? So if you break one, you don't care. You're just like, get another one.
I need that because you know what? We took our, you guys, we had this bar that we took down a while ago, and I've just never like found another one and put it back up again. So we sort of took all the glasses. I took like 2 or 3 and shoved them in the cabinet, and all the rest are Lord knows where, except for my very important Outlander glasses that I still have to give Tracey a couple of because she'll never ever let me live it down if I don't.
So you guys, we have to do the ceremonial changing of the guard, okay? So as you might notice, can you see behind me, Carol? Can you see behind me?
Oh, I thought I was supposed to be looking at your hair.
No. In the background, what can you see?
Let me switch you to big.
Can you see what's in the background? I might have to shift around here.
Is that like some kind of figurine, like in a kilt?
Oh no, that's from a play I was in many years ago.
But are you going to switch Dragonfly for Voyager?
Yes. So we have to take Dragonfly. Dragonfly, you were a good season, but we're getting rid of you because guess what's going up there?
Her favorite. Her
Voyager.
favorite.
Voyager gets to sit there for the whole season now. Voyager is my favorite of the Outlander series.
Her favorite.
I
like that.
don't think it's your favorite.
Voyager?
Yeah.
I loved Voyager, but oh my God.
What?
I can't remember where episode 1 ends, so I don't want to say.
Oh, it ends when they have the baby. And they're like,
No. Who cares about that? Where's Jamie?
Jamie is at Lollybrock. Jenny's like,
who did we meet? My favorite.
I don't know.
He wouldn't be at Lollybrock if it weren't for.
Oh, Hal. All right.
And you know what?
We will get into all of that.
I know, but I have to say it right now. It's on my head. Squirrel. He was perfect. Because you know what? I always saw Hal as older in my head, even earlier, like then. But honest to God, he wasn't too young. He was a little younger than what's in my head, but he's like the exact younger version of what's in my head. He's perfect.
Hal was very Jeff Daniels to me. And I'm like, I'm the worst recapper in the world because I don't remember his name in real life.
Daniels. We've got our scumbag. That's my favorite Jeff line of all time.
He was very Jeff Daniels. And then there was maybe I wrote it down. I don't know. All right. Let's start, shall we?
Please.
So, we're on Outlander, episode 301, titled The Battle Joined. Written by Ron Moore, Carol's friend and mine, acquaintance, I guess. Directed by Brendan Maher. I don't know that this Brendan Maher has ever directed any.
I would say Mar.
Mar?
I would, if I had to guess, I would say Mar.
Do you want to talk about the starting and any of the new scenes in the starting? It was pretty.
I fast forwarded it.
You don't remember that they always change up the starting. I will say there's not the last for Dragonfly, it was very different because it was French. So they sang part of the song in French, and there were all sorts of French ladies, whatever. But then the back half had a lot of pre-battle-y stuff, and that's kind of the same with this one too. So there's not a whole lot to talk about. There's change. The only really interesting thing is, I know I look forward to every season seeing what the gross medical thing is going to be in the starting.
Like from the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia?
Yes. And the gross medical thing this season is someone, I guess Claire, drilling, using a hand drill to drill a hole in someone's head.
Oh, God, I didn't see that, and thank God, because I would have gasped.
Well, you know what? I don't think it was as bad as hammering the nail into someone's leg as from last season, and stitching up some wound as from the first season. This is actually the tamest one.
Ew.
Yes, I know. But, so, not bad. We're going to keep it spoiler-free. Maybe we'll do, a couple minutes at the end where we do spoilers, but all I'm going to say is the best part of the starting that made me go was the little handing over of the little piece of plaid cloth.
Oh.
I know what that means. Carol knows what that means. If you're a non-book reader, you don't know what that means, but you will. Okay. We didn't really have an Easter egg very much. It was the Jacobite flag. This is the kind of episode where I think you really want a big Easter egg or whatever.
This is the kind of episode where you want a bigger Easter egg. Mark me.
Well, what I was going to say is the first 10 minutes there's very little dialogue. And
there's Sam Heughan looking like my man is dead.
Now, let me say, I'm going to make a bold statement right off the bat. I thought the acting in this episode was really good.
Oh, God.
Across the board.
At one point, when Caitriona was talking, I turned to Tom and I went, oh, my God, she is so good. She's all about the eyes.
I know. But I think this was Sam Heughan's episode. I really do. I really do. And I loved the first 10 minutes. Loved him. It was exactly... they don't talk about, anything that Jamie has seen or done or whatever in the book. But it all made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I loved seeing. I'm looking at my notes here. Yeah.
Don't you love how when I take a sip and stuff and you're talking, I'm like, didn't you love the scene where they were checking to make sure that everybody was dead in the field? And I was like, turn.
I know. oh. Ron Moore clearly did his research and read a bunch of different TV shows and movies for this episode. And we'll get to that. But yes.
I half expected Seth Numerick to just jump up and go running from Angus McFadden.
I know. That was like half the time I was like, wait, am I watching No, it's Outlander. Because it's just it's so confusing. Oh my God. And they all wear red coats. I think maybe they should wear like different colored coats depending on the show so you can keep the show straight.
Mock me.
Mock me, James.
So we get "mark me" in the second sentence, which was
Made
awesome.
My day.
I know. I forget. I guess he was in the opening credits last year, but he was this year, which was great. So one question I had, so you see Jamie like for like 10 minutes. You just see the flashes of battle. You see like people that he's come across. A couple of seconds with Murtaugh, which was great. And Murtaugh is like in his element. Murtaugh's like, woohoo!
Oh yeah,
like bring it, baby.
There was a part where Murtaugh said something, and Jamie was kind of like a little crooked smile, like yeah.
This is Murtaugh lives for this shit.
And remember when I got in trouble for saying Murtaugh after all the years that we had been saying Murtaugh, and now every time I go to say Murtaugh, it comes out kind of not really Murtaugh, but I was told I should say it. Not really Murtaugh, sort of like Murtaugh.
Maybe we should do now that we're in Boston, maybe we should say Murtaugh. How would you say? Meta. Meta.
That would be wicked cool.
So I did want to know, Faux Ian, he must have gone back to Lollybrock, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he didn't make it to the battle because I didn't see him anywhere.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Honestly, Tracy, I have to be honest with you, and please, you guys, when I say you guys, I mean actors who have big and small roles in these shows. I feel awful because everybody starts looking the same to me, and I'm like, is that the guy? Which one? The one with the blonde ponytail.
Oh, I know. That guy Gordon.
This is like the one with the reddish blonde ponytail. They all have reddish blonde ponytails.
The guy Gordon. For a while, I was like, well, I don't think that looks like Faux Ian, but maybe he just. I mean, it has been a year and a half. I mean, one's looks can change a lot in a year and a half, I suppose. But
it has been 10 years since we last saw when we last left Outlander.
I know. Don't you love how we really needed the previously on Outlander?
I find it funny.
So long ago that you have two children now that you didn't have when you.
Yeah, go back to our last video of say season 2, and our hair is much different. Look how much my hair's grown in.
Oh my God, I don't even want to go back. It would be interesting to go back and see our very first videos because we're working on
Oh my God!
10 years ago, but 7 years ago, I would say 6
or
7.
It will be my Outlander Purgatory will be 8 on November 1st.
We should see how many videos we've had. I wonder if we've gotten up to 100. I don't think we've gotten to 100, but we might be getting to 75 soon. I think so. Okay, so
yeah, I know, squirrel.
So then.
Roll it along. There's a lot of battle
in
footage.
The fighting, and they do. I loved. So, sorry. Go. What? There's a lot of battle. Go.
Oh my God! You're so rude.
What?
You're like, what I'm saying is important, and what you have said.
Well, I thought you were going to skip over all the battle, and I have one other thing I want to say about it.
All right, go ahead.
Were you going to skip? Do you deny that you were going to skip over the battle?
I was going to say there's a lot of battle footage. We don't need to talk about all of said battle footage.
But we need to talk about one part of the battle footage.
I am signed out.
Of this, what?
Now it's going to be.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Because I took notes. Remember. So I loved how that the final when Jamie was like, we got to do it, we just got to charge, and they charge, and the British, and again, it's like from every Revolutionary War movie ever and TV show ever, fire,
Mel Gibson
boom,
even pops
the
up.
first line of defense falls, boom, the second line falls, then they start fighting, and then I guess they decided to do the tribute for all of the people who, like, for years and years and years were like, the only person that can play Blackjack Randall is Jason Isaacs. They decided, okay, we'll end Blackjack by replicating the final scene from The Patriot.
The same music. And he's on the horse. Oh.
And the only thing that was different was that Jamie wasn't carrying around an American flag to beat him up with.
Ooh, am I frozen?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
No, actually, the quality's been very good. I know, apologies in advance because I know Diana hates The Patriot. That means that, half of her fans hate The Patriot. But you guys, sorry.
She hates The Patriot?
She hates The Patriot. Oh, she
Why?
thinks The Patriot is just, not realistic. And, yeah, she hates The Patriot.
Meanwhile, you're like, this reminded me a lot of The Patriot.
But I will say off the bat,
I do remember when, who wrote Braveheart? I used to know his name inside out and backwards.
Oh, no.
And he
Still
wrote
never seen it.
the screen when they were going to do Outlander as a film, and he wrote the screenplay. The fellow who wrote the guy who wrote, my God, I'm so tired. I can't, words. The guy who wrote Braveheart wrote a screenplay for Outlander, and she called it Braveheart too.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, the writer of Braveheart wrote an Outlander movie, and she was like, "Yeah, no." And I don't like The Patriot either. But I will say unapologetically, I love The Patriot. I think The Patriot.
I totally love The Patriot.
So much fun.
Right.
I love Heath Ledger in it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Goodbye, child.
But
I've seen it a million times.
That Jamie Blackjack scene was straight out of The Patriot. Straight out of The Patriot.
Talk for a second.
Right to the point where they're both so exhausted that they can't do anything or move or whatever. Very funny. Very funny. I don't know where Carol is, but I abandoned her last time around, so I guess I need to just move on here. So let's see. Oh, there you are. So we finally find out what happened with Jamie and Blackjack. And that's not a spoiler in the book. We never find out in the book. We do know that Jamie wakes up and Blackjack's on top of him dead. But we don't ever find out how it happened.
And Blackjack's the reason for his leg wound.
Yes. So now we know that Jason Isaacs, Blackjack.
You're not kidding.
Stabbed him at first, and it looked like Jamie was gonna totally get killed by him, but then Jamie got him in the stomach. Okay.
Oh, I know.
No,
Jamie
got him in the stomach. Okay.
I don't know. I would have liked that a little bit more if there he is on the horse.
I'm telling you guys, shot for shot. You have to compare them. Shot for shot. Okay. So then Jamie thinks he's seeing Claire, and of course it's not Claire, it's Rupert.
That was pretty funny. I was like, really? Okay. Oh, is it the hair?
But that was interesting. It's kind of different from, you don't really find out, kind of how he gets to the safe house or wherever he is, and I like that it's Rupert, and, I love Rupert anyway. Then we flash forward, and we are in 1948 Boston.
With Frank
and Claire and her new perm.
And the veranda.
And the veranda.
And that hideous house. And she's like,
oh, you thought it was hideous?
Well,
I think it's pretty nice.
I know clearly it's the 40s. So obviously it's got floral wallpaper. But didn't you think it looked kind of dirty? Like, especially the kitchen?
I think, well, it is the 40s. I think it looked kind of dirty in that way of like...
Lived in.
Frank and I are going to clean it up and make it grand.
You sound like Dirty Mouth. Clean it up. And what is Claire? Why did we have an entire minute devoted to Claire not being able to light the oven or the stove?
So that she could have the idea to cook in the fireplace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like there were things that I guess it was done in a poignant way, and it's supposed to be, making you think. I thought it was too. I wish they didn't waste their time on some of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I get it. I would agree that the Claire and Frank parts. I mean, I liked seeing their relationship.
Yeah.
I really liked. Oh, I actually am like reading off of here. Throughout the whole thing, I really liked this juxtaposition. Like you could really see that Claire is trying, and you can really see that in a sense she doesn't have to try because she really does like Frank. In a sense, she loves Frank. Frank is a nice guy. She's comfortable with him. I think he's trying to make it as easy as possible for her, but yet she's repelled by him.
Frank is those old, comfortable sneakers you've had forever that are really comfy, cozy. But, oh, girl, that's a brand new pair of leather boots over there that I'd much rather wear. That's what Frank is. That is Frank.
Back to the Stones. I actually think it's more interesting than if she were to just be like, oh, Jamie, I miss Jamie. I love him so much. Shut up, Frank. Go away, Frank. Ugh. I think it's actually, I actually liked that better than, like, maybe that had, like, a little more levels and it was a little more interesting of a reaction where, she kind of does, like their, like, little, repartee, or she feels comfortable with him. But at the same time, when he tries to get physical with her at all, like, not even, really physical, but just, like, touch her or whatever, she's like, no, don't, like, no.
She's like, ew, and can you blame her? I was watching that, and I was like, oh, my God, like.
You guys, can you believe this is Carol saying this?
You know what? I told you, like, the honeymoon has been over for a long time.
Oh, my God, you guys, they're on a break.
Did you see the one point where he was, like, making fun of American tea bags?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, yes.
And I turned to Tom and I said, this is how he feels in real life.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I would suspect that that's pretty much how any, red-blooded Englishman feels about tea bags, like, that they're disgusting. I thought you were going to say when he was imitating John Wayne.
Oh, that was a good John Wayne accent.
It was a really good John Wayne accent.
It was a good American accent. I don't think I've ever heard Tobias Menzies play an American, have you?
I know. No, not at all. But I also thought it would make her a little sad because, like, there was that whole, like, John Wayne, like, Jamie thing. But I don't even know if they did that in the show. I kind of forgot. But I really did. I actually really liked this choice to kind of make her try a little more, and yet
in her house coat,
in her shorty house coat. I really did like that house, and I mean, like, it's probably a nice, cool. It's a brownstone, like at Cambridge. It's all very, like, collegiate and stuff.
I liked it because of the woodwork and the, if I went in that house now, I'd be like, oh my God, but I'd be like, dear God, get rid of this wallpaper. But it was the time period. So,
sure. And I'm sure that apartment now, I don't even know if it's a whole house or just an apartment, and I'm sure that rents for like $5,000 a month. So There's
But
that.
can you please explain to me why a future surgeon who's highly intelligent isn't able to light a stove?
Have you ever tried to do that? It's not easy.
Yeah,
It's not
when my
easy.
when I turn on the gas and nothing happens, and I'm like, oh, and I got to whip out the thing, and
Like, I have to do that to our barbecue grill because, like, two of the burners are broken and I have to light them with those torch lighty things. And it's scary because, like, you don't know if it's going to be like, and, like, burn your face off, you know?
yeah, I didn't get scary out of that. I just got she couldn't do it because she was.
But then she learned to do it. She learned to do it. That's the thing, too. Like, I think she got better at it.
I liked. Oh wait, yeah, that was okay.
Can we talk about, like, so after she can't do that, and I think that that's, like, the impetus for her to be like, I know, I'll cook on the fire like I used to when I was really happy.
Again, and
okay.
why didn't annoying neighbor lady be
Yes!
like? Why wasn't she like, why are you cooking in the fireplace?
Okay,
Like,
why do we have annoying neighbor lady?
I don't.
Was the only purpose of annoying neighbor lady to be like, why are you cooking in the fireplace?
I think the only purpose of the annoying neighbor lady was to show us that Claire was so not cut out to be a housewife
In 1948?
Yeah, like she just the neighbor lady had resigned herself to the fact that this is my life, and Claire was like, I no, like I'm not living this life.
Okay. I have several thoughts on the neighbor lady. Number one, she should have been played by Elizabeth Banks because that's totally the Elizabeth Banks role. Number number two, Nellie Nelson. Nellie Nelson. It's just kind of a stupid name. Number three, at first I didn't get her at all, so I'm like grasping at straws to try to figure her out. Number four, why don't any of these people have Boston accents? Jesus Christ, we're in Boston. Not that hard.
They might not have wanted to take you out of the scene they might have thought it was distracting to go too far with that.
You know what? It took me out of the scene because there were no Boston accents.
Yeah, well, Tracey, you didn't have Mark Wahlberg back in the 40s either. Like maybe I'm sure people in Boston had accents, but maybe not to that degree that they do now.
Maybe it's just because Good Will Hunting has been on cable a lot lately, and we've been watching it a lot.
How do you like them apples?
But, you know...
Matt Damon.
But it's not that hard to do a Boston accent.
It's wicked good.
It would be wicked good if Nellie Nelson had a Boston accent.
Just go get the car, Claire. What's your problem? Oh no, my favorite was she didn't even really do that much of a Boston accent, but was do I know you? Why is she talking?
Okay, but wait. All right. So remember I said I was sort of grasping at straws to try to figure Nellie Nelson, or Nellie Olson as I was calling her.
I thought you were going to call her Nellie. I was like, is she talking about Nellie Olson? She did see her.
I did write down that her name was Nellie Nelson. Okay. So she keeps talking about her husband, who's like handsome but stupid.
Who'd she hate?
Handsome but pointless. And handsome but like, would have a heart attack if she like served anything other than pot roast for dinner. And maybe that's an idea. Who does that remind you of?
Someone in our life?
No.
Mom? No.
Has Claire had a friend like this before?
Oh, what's her name? Who was dating Markwe?
No. Keelis Duncan. Is this really grasping at straws too much here? Like she just started like, and this is my second time watching. So again, like really trying to think of like her purpose. And I was like, she's kind of like whenever Claire makes a little friend, it's
she's
never
weird.
A good thing.
She's not all there.
She is kind of weird. So that's why I was like, because I can't believe, I mean, if the purpose of this woman was just to like, be sort of the impetus to like have Claire do something from the past, that's like you know, a waste of 5 minutes, and like, good for you, actress, that you like nabbed that money for like that part. That was really
My
stupid.
God. I was like, don't waste my time.
I know.
Like, I was like, go back to Jamie lying in the dirt. Like, why are we watching this? See, well, do you want my opinion now or not?
Well, you were not as big a fan of.
I said I was underwhelmed. And it might just be because it's, it's honestly in the books, I was probably the same way. I was never a big fan of Claire and Frank in Boston. So boring. Yeah, I mean, Claire is trying to make herself into the little wifey. And you know what? Maybe there's a little bit of, like personal modern day, maybe my own little, I can't stand that whole like, oh, I can't be a housewife. It's so boring and they're so stupid. Like Nellie. Like you
think that was Nellie's purpose?
It's so
just to show how stupid housewives are or something?
It's so stereotypical, and they were trying to show us that this is what her life was going to be if she didn't go become a surgeon. Like Claire was not cut out to be Nellie Nelson. She was not cut out to cook and clean and be the housewife, and that's what housewives do. They get together in their coffee clutch, whatever it is, and they sit and me, my husband, he should be mowing the lawn. That's the stereotypical, I should say, housewife. And maybe there's a part of me that's like, you know what? I just always feel like it's.
When my girlfriends and I get together, we never talk about our husbands or mowing the lawn.
Well, never. I did it both. I did the corporate thing and I did the wife and mother at home thing. And it bothers me. And believe me, when I was the one hiring, when I was in corporate America, and I'd be like, oh my God, that she can't come to work because her kid is whatever, back in the day. But I just feel like the house, and this, we don't need to get into this, but I just feel like I don't like anything that's going to rip on housewives for being housewives. I have a huge problem with that. I don't have a huge problem with the show. I get what they're trying to do, and there's a purpose to it because they need to show you that Claire needs to go and be a surgeon because she grew up with Uncle Lamb, and she was never in one place for very long, and she's not cut out for this, and that's cool. But I just, like I said, I hope we've seen the end of Nellie Nelson and her husband because I don't like the negative. I think it's, I don't hope they get any more. Like I said, I don't love the negative connotations about, the American housewife.
That's a good explanation. And that's a reasonable explanation, I think, of Nellie Nelson. And even Nellie Olsen found happiness as a housewife. I'll have you know. With her little Percival.
I'm good.
This light just came on. I don't know why.
So anyway, let's move on.
Weird? All right. Speaking of Jamie in the dirt, we go back to Jamie in the dirt. So he's at the safe house now with Rupert and I said Rupert and some other guy who's not Heughan. And I don't know who he is.
They all look alike.
Because they all look alike. I don't know that anything really happened because then I have back to Claire. And it's time to meet the boss and look all pretty. And that was a great scene. That was a great scene. It was like Ron Moore just being like, channeling his inner douche and writing some douchey McDouche or some shit.
The douchey Republican?
Oh my God.
And she was progressive.
But
I thought that was a little much too.
Well, clearly, he's all like, oh, Harvard Medical School is just far too demanding for the ladies. And you could see the wheels in her head turning like, yeah, bitch, I'm going to Harvard, so shut up.
What, like it's hard?
Yeah, gauntlet thrown, bitch. And then I was just laughing because he kept saying like, oh, you read that in the Globe? And I was thinking like, okay, does he think she's talking about that Boston Globe or like the Globe, like the National Enquirer Globe.
I pretty much assumed that the National Enquirer was not in the picture.
I think it's the Boston Globe, but maybe he doesn't like the Boston Globe because only housewives read that. I don't know. Who knows? It was funny, and I also liked that, like, yeah, maybe that's a little spoilery, so I won't say.
I thought it was way, way, way overdone.
It was, yes, it was a bit...
It was hideously overdone. That never would have happened. The guy would never have pushed it that far. He would have gotten up and excused himself. It was horrifically overdone, and I didn't understand why at all.
I don't know that it was horrifically overdone for 1948.
I get it. We get it. Women weren't as good as men. We get it. Like, I kind of feel like, I just feel like, what are we showing the Outlander books on film, or are we trying to make a statement here? Like,
well, I mean, I hear you, but I never lived in 1948, so I couldn't tell you what life was like then. And for all I know, it was like that. For all I know, like, if you were a woman and you expressed a political opinion like that in a room full of Harvard professors, all of whom are men, you know, are you going to get looked at funny? And particularly because you're not an American. That's another.
I thought the setting and the situation was unrealistic. I didn't think she'd be sitting there in a room full of Harvard men. I thought it would be more like at a dinner table with him and his wife or something.
Well, you know, I don't remember. No, there were couples there, because there was one woman. Actually, it's funny. There was an older couple that they kept, like, cutting to, that was just sort of, like, listening to this conversation. And the woman, I thought, was that actress Bonnie Bartlett, who used to be on ER, I think, who's married to, like, William Daniels.
Oh, I got to go back and find her.
I know. But then I think she's a little older than that. Maybe it looked like her back in the day. But anyway, you know, like sort of like flashing forward when she's in labor and they're like, okay, we're going to, like, you just give you a little, like, something and you won't even feel a thing. And she's like, no, I don't want to. Oh, don't worry your pretty little head. Here's a shot. And, you know, and that was another thing that was like, you know, women, you know, had their place, and women, you know, couldn't, like, bother themselves with such, you know, hard, complicated matters. And, like, you know, if you're a woman, you just, you know, we'll just put you to sleep because having a baby is really hard, and, like, you know, you don't want to go through that pain or whatever.
I wish they put me to sleep.
So, I mean, it's kind of interesting in a way, because what you're also seeing is that, surprisingly, Claire in many ways had more freedom and was able to express herself more and be who she really was more
back in the 18th century. I totally agree with you on that.
So, I mean, like...
And they were showing that Jamie let her be her.
Right.
The guys, you know, Rupert, Murtaugh, like, they all let her be her.
Right.
They all were, not that she was renowned, but she was, what's the word I'm looking for? As a
Infamous?
18th century healer.
Notorious?
They all looked up. What?
Notorious?
They all looked up to her. They all, you know, it was like, there was no question. You're sick, you go to Claire. So she had I loved that. I did love that. That it was like they were making the point that in the 18th century, she had way more respect than she does in the 20th century, in the 40s.
Right. So you saw this in several different ways. You saw it in, like, this professional world. You saw it in the medical world, or in, like, as a patient. As a patient, you know, Claire would never have even thought to, like, if she was, like, you know, at a birth or something like that, she never would have been like, oh, well, let me just try to figure out something to give you. Here, take some, you know, what the hell did they ever give them? Like, herb of the poppy, or no, that's Game of Thrones. Or whatever.
Laudanum,
or whatever. Yeah.
Which in the hospital now they still give you something called, like, Dilaudum or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
So I mean, so I think I liked that a little more than you did, but I hear you. I mean, it was very stereotypical, but there's a reason why there's stereotypes, you know?
I know, but I just don't need to be beaten over the head with it.
Okay, but I get it. Okay, so back to the safe house. No one knows what happened to Murtaugh.
I noticed that too.
Now, I do recall hearing all sorts of Duncan Lacroix stories of like, oh, he shaved off his beard, oh, he cut his hair, oh, he's on other things. And I'm sure everyone will be in the comments like, no, he's definitely not. All I know is I have proposed a way for Duncan LaCroix and Murtaugh Fitzgibbons to continue on his merry way, and we'll see if it happens. And I won't say exactly how, because that would sort of be a spoiler, but I can't tell what it is.
I have to say that with Murtaugh, I was like, okay, either my man Murtaugh solidified himself a place in the Outlander series, much like
Lafayette,
Lord of Marciana.
Oh, God love him.
I was thinking of was Lafayette, like the fans just loved him so much they kept him around. He was amazing. Or he's just gone. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Like, it's kind of that way in the book. Like, no mention practically was ever really made.
Yeah,
like,
this is not a spoiler, really, because we don't know. We don't
know. It's not a spoiler. We don't know.
I know.
Nelson Ellis, I have to say, was Lafayette. Is that his name? Nelson Ellis.
Yeah. Nelson.
Yeah. Oh, Nelson. Go by the Lord of mercy on him, because my God, what an actor, what a talent.
I know. Okay, so then the Redcoats bust in, and we meet Hal, Lord Fancy Pants. I don't remember. Melton. Melton.
That's who I'm trying to show you.
Oh, see, I can't. Oh, all right. You tilted it. It's all right. I saw it. So, are you talking for real, or can I not hear you anymore?
No, I
okay.
I think that we just, those little plastic dolls they make for
you want to Pocket Al?
Oh yeah. pluck out.
I got nothing.
Who were we talking about before? Who you were saying the honeymoon is over?
Frank?
And this will take me right on through the rest of the
Google the dude's name, please. Can we, please know who the actor is playing Hal?
No, because I don't like to mix the actors and the... You know me, I don't get into all that. Just stick to the character.
Yeah, but I would like to at least, give him his credit. Not just be
Did we even know this casting?
No, yes, I think that they did announce the Hal casting. But you know who they didn't announce? A character that we'll see later that I won't really talk about because it would be a spoiler, but a character that perhaps could be sort of just eliminated and substituted with another character.
Oh my God, I'm so lost. I'm not even going to waste everybody's time by going.
That shows up later. All right, well, never mind that. So Hal, so you loved him. He's not exactly what I pictured, but I'm not really sure what I pictured.
He's better.
But I did like him.
I have always loved Hal because he's such a smart ass.
Oh, I love the character of Hal. Oh my God.
Hal. And let me tell you something. In this episode, it was not easy to love yourself some Hal. because other than saving Jamie, which he only did out of honor, and everything with that happened with Lord John, he was not a good dude. I mean, he was good in that he was trying to, again, show honor. You don't kill somebody who's like propped up or whatever they said. Did you hear that conversation? What would we do if they were sick? Well, you would prop them up before you shot them. What kind of a barbarian do I look like?
What kind of an idiot are you?
Yeah, I would never. Am I a barbarian? I would never shoot somebody who was laying on the ground. Yeah. So, but I was thrilled because I've always loved Hal. Hal's such a wise ass. Like, just love him.
I liked him a lot. I agree with you that I liked that he was just very honorable. I liked how he treated the prisoners. I like how he was like,
would you like
very matter of fact. Do you want a piece? We by order
writing
we have
materials.
To shoot everybody. We have to shoot everybody who's a traitor. Is there anybody not a traitor? Okay, you have an hour. If you want something to write with, we'll give it to you. And then I liked how he treated Rupert. Like, Rupert was able to go up to him and try to bargain for, like, the little boys or whatever, and he treated Rupert with respect, and he treated Rupert honorably, because Rupert was clearly, like, the leader of the group. And he didn't look down to him, and he wasn't like, sit down, like,
Waldo.
Yeah, exactly. I liked that a lot. He did sort of, like I said, he was sort of Jeff Daniels-y a little bit to me. I don't know what I was.
You
expecting.
mean the character?
No,
or...
the actor. The actor just sort of reminded me of. I'm still trying to figure out what his name is here. Let's see.
So am I.
Wait.
Risha.
Episode cast and crew cast. Oh, good lord. John Bell.
Keep talking and I'll look for it.
Wait, I almost have it. Realtor? What? The hell? Isabel Dunsany is not even in this episode. The hell are you talking about? IMDb, you suck. Okay.
Yeah, right? What is she doing in there?
I know.
What is fake not Jeannie Francis doing in there?
I know.
What the heck?
Oh, I can't wait for those episodes, but we'll get to that in a few weeks. So...
Anesthesiologist.
Right? Okay. So how? All right. So we know where that's going at the safe house. So then we go back to Claire. Claire can now work the stove. Now we need to talk about Claire's hair. Because what I've written down here is, oh my God, Claire's hair looks like mine with this bad haircut that I just got the other day. Claire's hair is like all over the place. All over the place. Like in the previously on, when she's like, okay, Frank, I'll like go to Boston with you. It's like down to here and perfectly straight. Then they go to Boston and clearly she's had a perm or something, in the meantime, because it's back with the big combs and like curls everywhere. By the time she's in the house coat and she and Frank have her big fight, Lord, the hair. Oh my God.
Well, Tracey, don't you know she's a harried, pregnant housewife who couldn't be bothered with her hair and her house coat.
Yes, but she has to look good for her man. And
for
when she meets the boss man.
It was, to me, I don't need to be beaten over the head. Did you pour a little more?
No, I'm in the office, so it's all the way downstairs. I'd have to run downstairs to get some. Boy, I wish I could get it virtually. So, okay. What did you think about... So let's think about Claire a little bit. Oh, I know, right? I should go downstairs and get more, but... Yeah. No, I'm good.
No, you shouldn't. Because I shouldn't be even having this.
I'm good. So Claire is she knows how to work the stove. She's making Frank breakfast on the stove, and she sees a bird in the window.
And Frank could have bacon and eggs every day of his life.
But what did you think of the bird in the window? it made me think. I know people like it's a very seeing, like, birds have a lot of, like, representation of people who've died to a lot of people. And by that, I mean, like, a couple people that I know. We'll see certain birds and they will, like, sort of be reminded of or see these birds at times when they're thinking about people who have passed or whatever.
Okay.
So I don't know. I thought it was kind of a nice moment. Like, I think a reflective moment for Claire.
I just felt like it was like the same kind of bird that the song of the bird or something, the chirping reminded her of Scotland or something. I don't know.
It could be. That could be an interesting. That could be. I wonder if it's a kind of bird where she saw a lot in Scotland. But it definitely was like, it was interesting in that she's really. I do think Claire's really trying to, like, live this life and push that other life away, and it's just not working.
What was that movie with Maggie Gyllenhaal? Why would I want to push my babies away?
I have no idea. I've never seen that movie. So okay. Then you have your tea conversation with the paper diapers, which was pretty hilarious, I thought. I, like, laughed all the way through that. And then Claire wants to...
You did? You laughed through that?
Yes. I thought it was funny.
I was like, sorry, our tea isn't good enough for you, Frank.
Look, I totally get it. I mean, it's kind of Lipton tea.
How about this, Frank? Why don't you take your ass back to England, Frank?
The only difference is that I have, like, a tea ball, and I would use the tea ball. But
I have a tea ball, too.
I do have loose tea. I mean, I get it. I you know, Lipton tea is kind of, like, disgusting when you think about it.
I know, but I hate Frank. Get your hands off that tea. Did you ever think you would see the day?
Did you ever think you would see the day when Carol would break up with Tobias Menzies?
I just, you know what? You know what it is? It's like when you have that horrific itch and the scratch is so awesome. There was too much scratch.
It's not him, it's her. It's not him, it's her.
Too much scratch. I've had enough to buy a scratch to save my to take me through this life and beyond.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, enough already. Enough already. Enough, Frank. Are you kidding me? Enough.
I don't know. I liked the Frank stuff. I did. I liked seeing her trying. I liked seeing him trying. I don't know why he got so, like, pissed off about, like, I don't know what this whole idea of her becoming an American represents. Like, I kind of would think that he'd be into that because it's like she's really, like, leaving all vestiges of, you know, any sort of, like, British, Scottish, you know, American, new start, fresh start.
Yeah, like, what do you want from her, dude? She's wanting to have the whole fresh start thing. And
I do have to laugh. Like, I made a little note about Claire's little breakfast with the one egg and, like, two halves of toast. Frank's like, can I have some toast, please? And she's like, sure. And there's a plate with, like, 2 halves of toast on it. Like, dude, at least I make my husband 2 pieces of toast in the morning.
And the bacon. And they're out of it, but she's going to head to the market like a good little wifey. Because that's what good little wifies do.
Oh, my God.
And maybe she's going to go there and meet Nellie for a little coffee and conversation. Oh, wait. Maybe she's going to join the local knitting club with Nellie.
True. Maybe they'll be in the DAR, like Emily Gilmore.
But she won't. I do not make fun of the DAR. I get closer every day. Every day I get closer to being...
Really, she would be more like in the WAR, the wife of the American Revolution.
Let me tell you something. Do not. Because every day I get closer to finding an ancestor, and you and Jill can ignore me all you want when I text you all about our family, but I am going to find it, and I am going to be on the DAR.
You guys, Jamie Fraser is our great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
I told you we came up as being related to Abe Woodhull's wife, Mary. We are related to Mary Woodhull. That came up from my inner cheek DNA.
Okay.
I found this guy's name too, Hal. Sam. If I butcher his last name, it's not going to be pretty. Hoare.
Hauer?
She said it. I didn't. All. Notice I brought her right.
What is it with the Sams and the last names with H that are hard to say on this show?
Tracey, on our first video talking about Sam, we were like, what idiots. You would not know that we're half Irish American and should be able to say these Celtic names. Hoare. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. We shouldn't be making fun of me.
Oh my God! All right.
Hoare. Hoare.
Hoare.
Oh. Canta. What? Oh.
I can't. Oh my God.
Oh, he's in that show Grantchester that I've always wanted to watch.
Oh, I've heard that's good. Oh my God.
Mercy.
Oh my
Endeavor. Dark Angel, he was in a couple episodes.
Oh, my mascara's gonna be running. Oh, jeez Louise, that was so funny. Hey, we gotta move on. We got to move on because we're like...
There was a Jane Eyre miniseries. Clearly, this was a British show that I never knew about.
I would think so.
I hauled my cookies to the theater to go see Jane Eyre last time it was made into a film because, boy, was it yummy.
All right, focus. Move away from the whore.
Outlander, right.
Okay.
See what happens when there's too much Frank? See what happens when there's too much Frank and Claire and housewifey bullcrap?
All right.
This is I get bored.
What did you think of the big fight? Were you sad that she didn't hit him? That her aim was better.
Right. Who's smoking in that house?
I know, right? I thought the same thing. I mean, I guess I don't know. I could see them both like developing into smokers like later when Brianna's like growing up and whatever. Is my mascara running? Like seriously? Okay, because I'm like seriously crying.
Do you think I can see you that well? These screens are like. How do I make you little and me big?
I can't look at you big because, and if you guys know Skype at all, we do this through Skype, and when you're big, when I'm looking at her in a big image, I see me in a little image, and it's just, I have to just stare at me the whole time to make sure.
Well, I try to put something up near the actual camera so I can look at you guys instead of like doing like.
Right. Okay. So I thought that the argument was very good. It was very well acted. And again, like I found that whole dichotomy of like closeness and on the surface, but division like when you dig into it, very interesting. And I feel bad for Frank. And he's right. She made the.
So did Tom.
Well, we have to get Tom's. We have to like talk about Tom's reaction, but I felt bad for Frank. She bought her ticket. She knew what she was getting into. I say let her drown.
You know what though?
Crash. Sorry.
At one point,
I'm getting my airplane line wrong.
Tom was like, "He hasn't done anything wrong," and I was like, "Neither has she." She did not ask to go through those stones. She did not ask to marry Jamie Fraser. She did not ask to have this crazy ass life. Like, she didn't do anything wrong either.
No, but she had a choice. Frank, it wasn't like you are staying with me. She had a choice. And I do think that she's trying. She is trying. I keep saying that's why it's interesting. But but he's right. She has a choice. There's a door. You can stay or go. But if you're gonna stay,
you're gonna do me.
You're going to be my wife, Claire.
You're always with him. And I want to say, yeah.
Have you seen him? Okay.
How about when... all right, wait, I'm jumping ahead. But I'm going to forget it if I don't say it.
And her hair was just like a holy mess at this point. But
all right.
I should talk, like I said. Okay, back to the safe house.
Her hair is a character.
No. Back to the safe house. I just have written down here, I'm loving Rupert. Rupert was so great in this episode. He was so effing great.
Don't even get me started.
I like that how, like I think I said this already, that he treats Rupert as an equal.
God, are we still back? Is Rupert still alive?
Yes, Rupert's still alive.
We need to hurry this up.
Jamie tells Stunt Faux Ian, as I was calling him, Claire's gone. She's not gone. Then Rupert and Jamie have their little scene. When Rupert was like, when they're talking about Angus, and Rupert was like, it'll be good to see Angus again. And Jamie's like, it'll be good to see the two of you together again. Oh my God. Oh, that just ripped your heart right out. And then I liked that they made their peace. I like that Rupert was like, I can't forgive you, but it's all good, bro.
Yeah.
And then when Jamie says goodbye, he says, however you would say, like, goodbye, Rupert, in Gaelic. And then you see the shot, the camera's on Jamie when you hear the shot. And
I knew Jamie was going to volunteer at some point.
Right. We have to do a slow golf clap for Grant O'Rourke as Rupert. 3 seasons of stellar work, bro. I'm hoping you and Stephen Walters can, get together, go have a pint, reminisce, watch this episode. Good work.
I'm sure that's what they're doing. They're watching this episode.
Or,
They're, on a film set somewhere.
Right. But, really great work from both of them. They will be missed. And, Slàinte mhath. Okay. Back to Claire. Frank is on the couch, hearing all sorts of noises. Not quite sure, are his senses heightened? What was your take on that?
I don't remember. Oh my God. I was like, is Stanley Kubrick in the house?
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure where they were going with that. Yeah, it's just sort of heightened senses. But then he finally gets up and he starts the letter to the Reverend. Dear Reverend.
Dear Reverend, I find I need your help again.
I need you to start some investigating, bro.
I wanted to hear the rest of that.
And then Claire comes downstairs and he's all like, Frank's like, oh, turns the letter over like, what? Yes, what?
Yeah.
She's in labor, off to the hospital. Back to the safe house.
Yeah, because you didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, of course not.
You knew that was coming when she came down the stairs.
Back to the safe house. Jamie gives his name. Hal's like, oh shit. He was. I kept waiting for it. I'm like, Jamie, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Say your name. All I could think of was say your name, not say my name, but Eisenberg. I just say your name. Say your name. I couldn't wait for it. So yeah, Hal knows him. He's like, oh boy, oh boy. And then we're back to Claire. She's in labor.
Do you know John Gray? Jamie's like, I am freaking dying here. Could you just let me go already? I'm sitting here a long time.
Did they? Oh, I guess they did settle up that whole thing, and figure out what they were gonna do. I love when Hal's like, when Hal's lackey is like, maybe you could shoot him and just do it like under a pseudonym. And Hal like just gives him this look like
amateurs. I'm always working with amateurs.
God, God, give me strength.
This is what I love about Hal. Hal has that like smart ass. I'm better than all of you. I'm smarter, not better.
Hal is to Lord John as Fraser Crane is to Niles Crane in some ways. I mean, it's in the same family of stuff.
Hal is to Lord John as Edward Cullen is to, I can't believe I don't remember his name. What's his name?
Where you're going with this?
Who's the older brother, the older Cullen
Emmett?
brother? Yeah. Although Lord John
Isn't
really
Emmett kind of stupid?
Yeah. But my point is, all right, then make it like Jasper. But my point is that's that Edward Cullen, like ridiculously smart, like smart ass attitude. Like, oh my God, I have no time for you.
Fraser and Niles Crane.
In real life, I can't stand people like that. But for some reason, in books and film, I just love them.
I think that I like the Crane one. I think that the Edward one is in the end. I'm not gonna go.
No, it's not. I guess my point was that I like Hal for the smart ass intelligence that it reminds me of Edward. You know how Edward Cullen was just always like such a smart ass, sarcastic.
Yes.
Sarcastic SOB.
Now, Carol, I have a question for you.
Okay.
We're back in the delivery room, and Claire's like, "Oh, I have a question for you. You've birthed 2 children. When you birthed your children, was your hair up or down?"
I don't remember with child number 2, but child number 1, not only was it up because I was so hot after 3 hours of crazy, it was like a unicorn. It was like right here. The ponytail was like here.
Okay. Could you guys please tell me why in all TV and movies, when a woman is having a baby, she's got like pre-Raphaelite hair going on, like
tendrils,
like don't you just want that mother up? Like, isn't it just getting all on you? I mean, I can't stand my hair
it's
down.
Like this. It's like push.
Like, and Claire's hair at this point was like, like the worst perm ever.
My favorite was, they're always yelling and screaming too.
Well, like, I mean, that I get. Like, you're having a baby, like, it hurts.
Some people yell and scream. I didn't make a sound. I was like Scientology while I was giving birth.
I find that hard to believe, but okay, whatever.
Didn't make a sound.
Had you had a lot of Santa Margarita before it?
It's just not me. It's just not who I am. I didn't make a sound. I remember the girl in the next room hooting and hollering after I already, had the baby. And I was thinking, God, is it easier? Maybe I should have yelled and screamed. I just, no.
But that's just what I was thinking. Like, why? Just put your hair up. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get the whole hair, like, down, like, all around your shoulders and, like, in your face when you're, like, having this baby.
That's what I'm saying.
Put your hair friggin' up.
I was like, get this off of me. Yeah. I'm hot.
Okay.
Yes.
I just needed to clear that up. I just kept saying, oh my God, the hair. Did you ever see the Friends?
Lord, the hair.
Did you ever see the Friends where they all go to the Caribbean and Monica's hair? Monica's hair gets curly in the humidity.
No,
that's what Claire's hair looked like.
It's the humidity!
Keep talking because I have to plug in. Keep talking.
Okay.
My battery's dying.
So, okay. We're almost done. So we go back to Jamie. Jamie's in the wagon. Actually, no, he was in the wagon. Well, he's arrived, and he hears, Jamie, you're here, you're home, you're at Lollybrock. And it's Jenny and Ian. Jamie is home. He's at Lollybrock. We don't know what's going to happen. But then we go back to Claire for the last time. Claire's like, where's my baby? Where's my baby?
Oh my God, I know. I felt bad for her. Didn't you feel bad for her?
When she's like to the nurse, did it die? I was like, oh, Claire, that's harsh. That's really too bad. But no, Frank walks in with the baby.
Oh my God, Frank had that baby.
Now this is where things start to go a little off the rails for me.
Off that baby. That's where my poltergeist scene
get off the baby.
That's where my poltergeist scene comes in, where they have the rope and they pull and the big head comes out sideways, like out the thing. Now, get off that baby right now.
So he hands her the baby, and she just looks at this baby and has a big old change of heart and looks at Frank and is like, oh, Frank, I've been such a douche. And he's like, it's all good, bro.
It's a new beginning.
It's a new beginning. And then the nurse walks in and she's like, where'd that baby get all that red hair?
Well, did she ever tell Frank that Jamie was a redhead? A ginger?
I don't know. But, like, don't you think Claire would have, like, noticed that? Like, and been a little melancholy? And I'm not, I mean...
Yeah. I was like... This was
I just
me.
found that.
How are you? I was like, I mean, like, weren't you?
And you know, I've said this whole time, like I liked that Claire wasn't just like, get away from me, Frank, get away from me, Frank, like the whole time. Like I liked that she was really trying. I liked that you could see affection for Frank, but in this moment, for this to be the moment when you're like, oh, look at this baby. I'm so sorry, Frank. Let's make out.
I would have, if it were me, I would have been like, Frank, you need to take yourself out there because I need a moment with my redheaded child.
Right. And again, I mean, there's no spoilers to say this. Like, we don't know how it went down because we were never really told in the book, I don't think, how it went down. And I'm not sure. I don't know how it will go down. I mean, clearly it would go down where, you know, I think Frank is going to be really thrilled. But I think that Claire is going to look at that baby and see Jamie. And, you know, if you're looking at a effing bird and you're looking at an effing, like, you know, fireplace and seeing Jamie there, well, clearly it's going to affect you to see, like, oh, I don't know, his own flesh and blood.
I would have rather have seen her see that baby, touch. I wanted her to touch that redhead, have like a second of
like a moment you said, alone like with the baby, maybe.
Yes, I would have liked to have seen her touch that head, even if he's right there. Just a beat of her touching that head. And Caitriona's so good in her eyes. She could have done this, like the profound sadness, and then sort of done like a
or he comes in at that point,
and then looked at Frank. No, I'm okay with him being there, and remembering it almost, and being like, okay, almost like Jamie told me to go back through the stones. Jamie wanted him to raise this baby. Jamie said, at least in the book, like, go, let Frank raise. I would appreciate it if Frank raised this baby for me. Right. You raised this baby with Frank. Because he knew Frank loved her, so he knew Frank would love this baby. That, I wish, could have come through in that scene. Right. They missed a major opportunity to have some real poignancy there. Right. And instead, they glossed over. The nurse is like, look at that red hair. And Claire's like, yeah, whatever. Shut up, nurse.
Well, no, I thought it was more like, beginning. I thought, they did that on the new beginning. And then when the nurse was like, redhead, it was like, uh-oh. Yeah, it was just like,
scratching.
Yeah. I agree with you. I probably would have done it with with Frank not in the room. I probably would have done it more traditional, like, you know, here's the baby, Claire, and Claire has this moment just with the baby and Jamie, really.
Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't have had him there or anything like that, but it really is by being just her and the baby, it kind of is with him. Then Frank comes in and like you're right, and then he sees the baby, he falls in love with the baby, you know. She and again, bargain. She's made a bargain. She's got to do this.
And what's happening with Jamie at this point?
He's at Lollybrock. You that was when you walked away. He's at Lollybrock. Jenny and Ian are there.
And he's sprawled out.
Your name's Lollybrock.
Is he sprawled out in the wagon?
Wagon, yeah.
That Jamie and Ian are hanging over, chit-chatting with him. That I'm like,
I was like that too. Jenny and Ian. I was like, what the hell is Jenny standing on? Like,
who did I say? Jamie and Ian, Jenny and Ian are hanging over this. I'm like, how about getting him out? Because how he made it all the way here is beyond. Like, this entire episode, I felt like, does anybody remember Jamie? Like I just felt like.
See, I don't know that I agree with you there. I mean, I told you, I thought this was Sam Heughan's episode at the end of the day. He wasn't like...
It was subtle?
I think for the first 10 or 15 minutes, he was front and center. But it was very much kind of...
Frank?
Him the stabilizing force in this, like, whirlwind around him. And, I mean, it was kind of parallel tracks a little bit. So it was really, I mean, I shouldn't say it was his episode because it was really both of them, but yeah, I think I liked this episode more than you did. What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
7.
I would give it an 8. So maybe not, you know.
Maybe 6.5. I didn't want to sound too like. I didn't, Tracey. I didn't hate it. It's Outlander, but. And maybe, you know what? It's what happens when you go away for a year and a half. You know what I mean? I was expecting more. I felt like it was, what did I say to you? It was underwhelming. I thought the episode was underwhelming.
It was very quiet in a lot of ways. Literally and figuratively. I mean, again, the Frank Claire stuff was not like exciting moments, except for maybe the fight. It was like these little mundane moments, but I think I found them kind of meaningful because of what it represented. This relationship that they're trying to rebuild. You know, this like when we're talking about the bad tea and whatnot. You can see that they're having this conversation and they're getting along and they're very comfortable with each other, but at the same time, there's a super huge wall between them.
They could have shown that in 5 minutes.
Well...
Why do we need so much Frank? Think about the book. Think about the extent of that book. And this entire episode was spent on... Jamie's only just arriving on the wagon back to Lollybrook, and I just felt like it was all Frank all the time. It was just too much Claire and Frank.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I thought it was pretty equally split. Maybe because the Claire and Frank stuff was all Claire and Frank, and the Jamie stuff was some stuff that wasn't quite focused on Jamie, like the Rupert stuff and the Hal stuff.
Too much Frank. TMF.
And who would have ever thought you'd hear those words?
I did not like Frank. Not that I don't like Frank. I give Frank his due. Like Tom always says, this guy took her back pregnant in the 1940s.
What did Tom say about this episode? I think he's already gone to bed, but...
I don't think he said anything about the episode as a whole. But he always has that, like give Frank his due. He took her back pregnant in the 40s. Like, are you kidding me? She owes him. And I just, like I said, I found it very interesting that I was like, you know, he just said, he's done nothing wrong. And it hit me. And I was like, neither is she. She's in a funky circumstance, but she hasn't, in the scheme of things and life itself, she has not done anything wrong. You know, this woman's just trying to catch a break all the time, and this is where she is, and she's trying, like you said, she is trying to, you know, to ease into this life with Frank. She was already pregnant. It's not like, you know, she had no choice as far as being pregnant, and it's not like she came back not pregnant and got pregnant, and you know what I mean? She has no choice. She's pregnant.
My only problem was that I didn't believe that the birth of Jamie's baby would be the catalyst for breaking down some of the wall. I don't buy that for a minute. I buy maybe, you know, she starts to see Frank with the baby and how he is with the baby, and you know how he's like a really good father or whatever. And maybe that starts to like breach the wall a little bit, but like to like look at this baby and then look at Frank and then be like, oh Frank, I've been such a bitch, I'm so sorry.
Especially a baby.
Hi, you're holding Jamf DNA in your arms, bro. Like
Jamf.
This is some powerful DNA, bro. Like,
well, this is.
I don't get it.
This is the thing. My Tom's nephew, my nephew and his wife just had a baby.
Does he live in the past?
And the minute I saw the picture, I was like, you know, like his eyes, her nose, her mouth, like you kind of do that. So for her to look at this baby with bright red hair and not show her, this is the thing.
Right.
They didn't show her have 1 second
agreed.
of what's the word I'm looking for? Not remorse.
Of recognition.
Recognition.
Of
sadness. Regret. None of it. And we were owed that.
Yep.
And we didn't get it.
Agreed.
Because
100%.
why? Because we have to worry about Frank.
That baby comes out with red hair and that's not the first thing that she sees? Are you kidding me? No.
Too much. Frank, this is your baby with another man. I don't care that he's in another time. You're not even going to think about it. You're going to look at Frank and be like, it's a new beginning. No. It's the new Joan Brady. I mean, what the hell? I thought that was so weird.
I was weirded out by that too. And again, this is coming from somebody who really likes Frank and really liked how their relationship was being portrayed. But that particular moment, you needed the acknowledgement that I am holding the child of Jamie in my arms. And you got none of it. And
to me, it's a big fat slap in Jamf's face.
Yeah, no.
It's a big fat slap in Jamie's face that she's not even, or at least we don't even see, we're not privy to her feeling those emotions.
I don't think she did. I really don't. Because she she looked at Frank and that's what she saw. She saw regret for being so mean to Frank. Regret for not letting Frank in.
Even if, you know, it would have helped if they had shown, like, Frank, like, staring longingly. And if Frank would have shown a little more emotion, like if Frank almost was, like, I don't know, like, teary-eyed and, like, holding onto her and this baby at the same time, like, and, like, in awe because Frank couldn't have kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that I would have had her see the baby first by herself. Have that moment. You know, Frank walks in, she sees the reaction, like it's got to be like a visceral reaction to Frank.
Yeah.
From Frank, like yeah. And he doesn't give a shit that it's not his kid. He says something like,
because
can I
his
hold
kid.
her?
Yes.
Like he asks permission, right? And she gives him the baby, and she sees him with the baby, and she sees like the bond. And maybe that's the first crack of being able to let Jamie go.
Right. I like it. She's alone with this baby, having her regretful,
this is her real goodbye moment. To Jamie.
Yeah, the tear, and she has it, you know, then you see they could have cut back and forth. They could have cut to Jamie laying there, whatever. And then they come back to her, and then in walks Frank, and we the audience see Frank, his sincere, heartfelt, like, wonder and awe over this baby.
And love
and
of this
love.
baby.
And she is what, like, he says, "May I hold the baby?" And she gives him the baby, and he's holding this baby, and like some kind of friggin' emotion out of Frank, which you'll never see. and he's like, "Oh my God," like, and he doesn't have like anything in his head of this. Look at the kid's red hair. This is somebody else's baby. He's just like, "Oh my God, oh my God,
my child." Yes.
And she's so reminded of her past life with him, that they wanted to have a child so badly together. Mm-hmm. And that ties it all up in a nice bow.
Yep.
And instead, we got weirdness.
We got, again, that my most hated episode of Outlander ever was that one with leg hair in it. That was like a sitcom, disguised as an Outlander episode.
Oh, yes.
And that ending was kind of like, it was kind of like, where to get the red hair? What's the like funny Brady Bunch like music? Like da 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 da.
Where'd she get the red hair?
Do 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 do.
It really was. Yeah, it was like I didn't want that to end on like a wisecrack,
Yeah.
And like she wouldn't have noticed the red hair. Okay. Anywho, in fact, I'm looking at my notes now, and I quoted, "Where'd you get the red hair?" And I wrote, "Wah wah wah." I know. But overall, I thought it was a really good episode. I thought it was actually very true to the book. I think book readers would be happy, except for that end. That was not very good. Good start. I will agree to disagree on the amount of Frank. I thought it was pretty good. I guess we will see what happens with Jamie.
It's not about Frank. Frank was a flashback. It's not about Frank. It shouldn't be about Frank.
It's about Frank now. Right now it is.
Well, it's about Frank. It's been about Frank for 3 seasons. Ho, ho, ho!
I don't know. I think you're part of that. You're part of that conspiracy theory group.
Not enough Jamie, too much Frank.
Frank and the grassy knoll.
I swear they're going to like prop Frank up or something like Bernie.
Oh my God! All
You're
right.
thinking about Murtaugh. I'd be worrying about what they're going to do with Frank.
I don't know. I mean, I guess Blackjack is done. I don't think he's coming back.
That too. I wanted a little more. I didn't just want your typical battle scene, man. I just wish.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw it all.
I wanted
if you want
Jamie.
more, go back and watch The Patriot.
I wanted Jamie to just. I didn't want an even Jamie Blackjack fight. I wanted Jamie to just absolutely rail. I just wanted Jamie to give it to him.
You kind of do want a little more between the two of them at the end, but you're sort of like limited. That's the story. That's what happened. You're kind of limited to, whatever. Right. I don't know if there was anything between when we last saw Jamie and Blackjack at the same time, which was, I guess, when his brother died.
Oh my God.
And
you mean in the book when Jamie helped Blackjack back to his room? I still, to this day. Oof.
I know. All right, we're at an hour and a half, so let's wrap this up. Let us know what you think about episode 301. You can tell us in the comments of the YouTube video. You can tell us in the comments of the My Outlander Purgatory post. You can always find us on the interweb at myoutlanderpurgatory.com. We are on Facebook. We are at My Outlander Purg on Twitter. I think we're on My Outlander Purgatory on Instagram, but we don't use it that much because All the social media. You just can't.
Too much. Too much.
It's a lot. You know, we're on Snapchat too, but we don't really snap that much. Facebook and Twitter, I think, are our big social media, stuff. And if anybody new is joining us this evening, welcome. We should have said this at the beginning. We have been My Outlander Purgatory for 8 years, you said? And this is basically what we do. This is what we do.
Yeah, we didn't do this at first. I did a lot of writing for a while when I was reading the books.
And then I did tweeting. But now we make these videos and, comment on Facebook and Twitter, and it's all good and fun and whatever. All right. Okay. That's it. We hope to hear your comments, your queries. Let us know what you think. And we will see you guys next week.
Up to episode 2.
For episode 302. I have not looked at any of the titles or anything, so I don't know. I don't want to be spoiled. I'm not looking at the
you
trailer,
already got a spoiler, didn't you?
Well, no, I got a spoiler for this episode, but...
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Okay, you guys. We'll see you next week.